In the late 1960s and the early 1970s, if you saw a big A in a circle on the front of a British lorry, you knew exactly what you were looking at. An Atkinson. It was built in Preston, Lancashire by a company that had been making trucks since 1907. The Borderer was their most famous model, a two-axle tractor unit that owner-drivers across Britain specified with a Gardner engine, a David Brown gearbox and a Kirkstall axle, and then ran until it could not run anymore. About 4,000 were built. Decades later, the preservation world treasures them. This is the story of the Atkinson Borderer. From the Preston factory floor and the night of the road badge that meant something, to Frank Worley's idea to give every model a name, to the Gardner connection that made owner-drivers loyal for life, and to the Seddon merger that brought it all to an end, we trace the full arc, and why, against every expectation, Borderers are still running today. In 1907, Edward Atkinson, Henry Birch Atkinson and their brother-in-law George Hunt established a modest steam wagon repair shop in the Frenchwood district of Preston. This practical workshop soon began building its own steam vehicles, establishing a local reputation for straightforward engineering. As road transport modernised, the company restructured on January 1st, 1933 as Atkinson Lorries 1933 Limited under Chairman Allen and Managing Director H.B. Fielding, committing fully to diesel power. While never Britain's largest truck manufacturer, Atkinson earned fierce loyalty from owner-drivers through a practical assembly philosophy. Instead of manufacturing every component in-house, they built chassis around the finest proven proprietary parts. The circular radiator grille emblem featuring the bold capital A became a visual guarantee of this approach, signalling a vehicle equipped with trusted, easily serviced machinery. Alongside it, the Knight of the Road badge was registered as a trademark of durability. It promised an honest machine designed for simple upkeep, supported by a firm that treated independent hauliers with the same respect as major fleet operators. Atkinson maintained a strong global footprint, exporting chassis to Australia, New Zealand and the Middle East, even as they remained a relatively small specialist builder in Lancashire. By the late 1960s, the dawn of the British motorway age demanded more powerful engines and modern designs, and that forced a major investment in new models. In May 1970, publicity manager Frank Worley gave the company's new lineup a memorable, unified identity. He introduced a family of distinct, rugged-sounding names: Leader, Searcher, Defender, Venturer, and the Borderer, a moniker reserved specifically for the 4x2 tractor unit configuration. The Borderer made its public debut at the 1970 Earls Court Commercial Motor Show in London, where the Preston manufacturer displayed two distinct variants. The first featured a Gardner 180 brake horsepower engine, a David Brown gearbox and a Kirkstall axle, rated for 32 tons gross combined weight. The second, designed for a higher 34-ton gross rating, carried a Cummins 205 horsepower engine paired with a fuller multi-speed gearbox. This high-profile debut immediately fixed the new designation in the minds of British transport operators. Before long, Borderer became the popular shorthand for any standard Atkinson 4x2 tractor of this classic cab style, defining a new era of heavy highway haulage across the country. The Borderer earned its reputation on the greasy floor of the workshop, where its appeal was strictly practical. Built from off-the-shelf proprietary components, a driver could service this tractor unit almost anywhere in the country using standard hand tools. The definitive owner-driver specification centered on a trusted, reliable formula: the Gardner 180 horsepower 6LXB engine, a David Brown 6-speed gearbox, and a Kirkstall rear axle. This rugged combination accounted for roughly 70% of all Atkinson production. Fleet operator Tom Riding remembered the Borderer as fantastic precisely because of this simple, straightforward build. On long-distance hauls, the standard day cab forced drivers to adapt. Rather than sleeping uncomfortably across the engine hump, many operators fabricated homemade sleeper pods and bolted them behind the cab. For hauliers wanting more speed and a different mechanical character, Atkinson offered the Rolls-Royce Eagle diesel engine under factory code T3246RR. Yet it was the Gardner-powered 4x2 that truly dominated. It was an honest, uncomplicated tool for a demanding trade, built for operators who valued uptime above all else. The detailed fleet records of Lancashire haulier W&J riding provide the clearest evidence of how these machines worked in the real world. On August 1st, 1971, the firm put registration GTD 930K into service. Designated fleet number 80 and named Alert, it cost exactly £4,912.51. Just days earlier, on July 28th, Riding purchased HTD 470K fleet number 27 named Competent for £4,802. Assigned from new to driver Bill Coolican, Competent went straight to work on the ICI Plastics contract. Coolican's daily duty involved hauling a 1,450 cubic foot crane Fruhauf powder tanker, moving polymer granules across the British road network. The names hand-painted onto the sides of these cabs, Alert, Competent, Victorious and Kidwelly, were not marketing gimmicks or factory options. Instead, they represented a genuine owner-driver pride, reflecting the personal connection between a hard-working driver, his employer, and a reliable Preston-built workhorse. After 7 years of frontline haulage, W&J Riding sold Alert to dealer Sid Hartley for £500 plus value-added tax. Instead of facing the scrap heap, the tractor unit spent another 11 years working for a travelling fairground operator. Other Borderers underwent even more drastic physical transformations. The chassis, registered as MVD432L, started life as a standard 4x2 model, carrying the build code T3446C. In the early 1980s, the specialist firm Killingbeck stretched the chassis into a 6x2 Chinese 6 configuration. The conversion used an uprated Gardner 6 LEXB engine to handle the increased weight, and operator Michael Duchard renamed the finished machine Buccaneer. This capacity for straightforward mechanical adaptation proved that a Borderer was rarely discarded. It was simply rebuilt for the next job. Atkinson produced approximately 4,000 Borderers before corporate consolidation altered the company's path. In 1970, Oldham-based Seddon diesel vehicles took over the firm, forming Seddon Atkinson. The combined brand later passed through the hands of International Harvester, Inasa, and eventually Iveco, while the new 400 series replaced the Borderer as the premier 4x2 tractor unit. The final genuine Atkinson truck left the Walton-le-Dale factory in 1975. It was an 8-wheeled Defender rigid chassis number FC29941, registered KVT604P, and built for hauliers G and B Macready. Shortly after, the Preston workshop fell silent, and the Knight of the Road badge disappeared from new assembly lines. If you drove an Atkinson Borderer or remember seeing the Knight of the Road on British roads, share your memories below. Subscribe for more classic British transport documentaries. While assembly lines stopped, the Borderer's working life was far from over. Many of these rugged tractors outlasted their Seddon Atkinson 400 series successors, spending their final working years as hard-bitten yard shunters. Today they remain highly visible across the British preservation scene. The ultimate proof of the platform's adaptability is Terry Godbold's heavily modified 6x2 in Australia. Uprated for 38-ton operations, it was retrofitted with a massive 14-litre Cummins engine, rated at over 400 horsepower, and a 13-speed Fuller transmission, proving that an honest, simple chassis could conquer any job decades after Preston fell silent. Today, in a world of disposable logistics, the Borderer remains a monument to honest British engineering. For those who steered one or watched that Knight badge pass by, the loyalty remains. Subscribe for more classic transport history.